along and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today we're going to do another one of my G1 reviews. Not perfect G1 reviews. These figures that I have from G1 have all been heavily played with, so they are by no means mint condition, but we can still have a little look and have a little look at how they've aged over the years through heavy playing with. So this version of Grimlock is actually one of my favourite G1 figures of all time. And we would usually look at the box art at this time, but I don't have the box for this figure, as this is one of the ones that my brother kind of passed to me. So I don't actually have any box to show you with this, but the box art was just the classic G1 box. But we can look at the main event himself, and this is one of my favourite alt modes ever. I think that the original G1 Grimlock alt mode is absolutely beautiful. I mean, when you think about kind of Mecha Godzilla or something like that, and it's just an absolute beaut. There's so much like molded detail on this guy. Does the heat sticker still work? Oh, kind of. It's a little bit chilly in this room, I guess, at the moment. Yeah, it's kind of working. Some of the crystals in it have died a bit. You can see that it comes through a little bit, but not too bad. This guy has so much molded detail on him for the time. His stickers actually on this one have held up quite well over the years, but you can see where you pull this apart to do the transformation, there's a little bit of wear and tear. Always the challenge with stickers over the years. I think there was also some stickers and things that went on here that now seem to be missing, but overall this guy is absolutely fantastic. I love the face on this, really like the way they did the head. And what I really liked on this through the years was the translucent on the neck here, and you can really have a look and you can see the mechanics and the workings inside. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I think some of the newer versions of Grimlock kind of miss this now, and they give him like a gold plate in here, and you don't get this kind of look at the mechanics inside, and this is something that I really like. So articulation on this figure in the alt mode, and you actually get quite a lot with this. So you get an up and down from the head. The jaws, as on all the Dinobots, open very wide, really nice. Those teeth, such an aggressive look on this guy, absolutely love it. You get a little articulation on the arms, but unfortunately you don't get any articulation in the hands. The chrome, actually, just speaking about the chrome, has actually held up quite well on this figure over the years. Not too bad, not too shabby. Then you get some articulation on the legs there, and you get some articulation here at the feet, which is quite bizarre because and you get some articulation on the toes. And then I think that is actually it, but from back in the day, that is some fancy articulation. I think because people would have kept this dude in this mode quite a lot. Hasbro actually spent quite a lot, and Takara, sorry, originally spent quite a lot on the articulation of this guy. You also get a hangover from the Diaclone side of things, so this is where the kind of pilot would have sat for Diaclone, and then he would have sat in there, so that's what that little piece there is for. Now it's time for the comparison. So first of all, we'll compare him to some of his Dinobot G1 counterparts. So we compare him to Sludge, we compare him to Slag, compare him to Slag, and Snarl, my poor wounded Snarl that doesn't quite hold together very well at the moment, but altogether they still look like a beautiful set. I like the fact that these all still look so mechanical. The see-through head, so you can see everything that's going on. Really wish this was a look that Hasbro would kind of bring back for the Dinobots, because I absolutely love the fact that they look more mechanical. Then some more modern day type ones. So this is the Zhao Zheng, I think it is. This is their version called Dino King, who's kind of masterpiece size but not masterpiece quality. I've got a video for him on the channel. I'll link it here, so you can go and check out the one for this. He's kind of a cheaper masterpiece size, but not quality. He's not great. His plastic's a bit cheap. He could be really nice, but no, I still prefer this guy right here. And then also, this is the Young Hao Peng Peng version of, again, this is called Dino King, but that's the combiner version. So this is Grimlock, and he's a big old beastie. He has lots of the kind of molded detail in him, but on the figure, but he's again, this is an awful figure. The alt mode on this is completely terrible, but he's bigger. I just think he still lacks the class that this one has. There's just something about this mold that I absolutely love. Then taking Grimlock in a completely different direction was Mastermind Creations with their Warbot Servo Core, and this was their more kind of Cybertronian IDW version of Grimlock, and that's actually all the Grimlocks that I have. I think out of all of them, I think this is still my favourite alt mode. I really like this alt mode though, don't get me wrong, I really like this, but I think this is definitely still my favourite alt mode. Transformation time on this bad boy, very easy. G1, always easy. So flip open the head, ting, flip open the chest, then this piece here is just going to come out and up, so it just goes in there. Then you can push the two hands back and then come around here, and you can just separate the tail and then fold out his legs like that, and then you're going to bend up and down, and the same with the other hip, where you can just go up and down, and there we have our G1. Not perfect, and this is where he shows his time and the looseness because of the ravages of time. G1 Grimlock, come on mate, you can stand up and everything. Yay, G1 Grimlock. So I have to say, now that he's transformed, this mode has not really withstood the test of time. It's always been a bit weird, but this version now, because it's been heavily played with, he doesn't really stand up all that well. What did articulate is now all very loose, but we'll go over that. Aesthetically, I think it's okay up to about here, and then this head has always been set so far back in this mode. It's just a little bit odd. We can come in and have a little look at this guy's head sculpt, and it's a nice enough head sculpt. It has no light piping, it just has a red visor, and it lacks kind of the detail actually that the G1 cartoon, that classic G1 style Grimlock head. The G1 figure actually seems to miss this quite a bit, and then as we go through, there's more molded detailing. Again, now we can get a closer look at this chest, and we can see the inner workings all here, which is very nice. The arms are molded detailing here, the carryover from the leg piece. Nice as we go to look at the cod piece here, that are all nice and all that. Then we look at the legs. There's molded detail in here that you can see that you couldn't see before, just on the legs, and then the kind of tail bits hang down here with the stickering still there. So there's a huge backpack, but quite a lot of Grimlocks, especially even these days, and actually the cartoon version, have this huge backpack, which just kind of impacts his stability, especially with a figure of this age that has been heavily played with. Articulation wise, it's G1. We get nothing really from the head. I don't know if it used to. It moves slightly, but not much. I don't think it's supposed to. Then the arm, you'll get some range of motion in the arm. Articulation is odd on this arm, because you can get actually articulation in the dino mode. You get more articulation there, but you can't get his hand out. So you can get articulation, but just like this, but you can't. You get more articulation in the dino's leg rather than here. You get some articulation here at the hands, so you can have these in like this if you want, or out like this. However you want to do that with this figure. You get nothing at the hips, but you do get some leg articulation that goes out like that. There's not a chance this dude can ninja kick. His feet are way too small. And then you get some slight articulation in the leg here. You get a knee bend here for sure due to the transformation, and that's really about it. So yeah, although I do love the alt mode on this figure, I'm actually not as keen on the bot mode, and I think that that is the weakest mode on this. So now time to do a quick comparison, and we'll bring out his little G1 buddies. So first we'll bring out Sludge to see how those guys look next to each other, and they still look pretty good next to each other. I think Sludge though is definitely the better bot mode from these two. And we can then take a little look at Slag. So Slag here looking pretty nice in his G1 this. Still a very nice bot mode here for this one. We can't look at Snarl, unfortunately. My Snarl doesn't transform anymore. His days of transformation have gone, but we can bring out the Zhang Dino King here, and you can see that this is a pretty nice looking, just moving my camera around slightly, we can see that this is actually a pretty nice looking alt mode here. Much bigger than this Grimlock, obviously, because the alt mode was much bigger. But he lacks the kind of molded detailing that you actually get with this version of Grimlock. The plastic on this one actually feels better than the plastic on this one as well, but you can see how far we've come with the look and the articulation. So even this, I would say, is aesthetically a better bot mode, even if the quality is not quite there. And then just to show how far we haven't come, this is the Young Hao Peng Peng version of Grimlock. Yeah, this is awful. This is one of the worst modes of Grimlock that I've ever seen. We don't need to spend too much time on this dude, but he's absolutely terrible. And then finally, probably my favorite alt mode that I own, bot mode, sorry, that I own of Grimlock, and this is the Mastermind Creations Servo Core version of Grimlock. Ready for battle, massive claws, slightly taller than his G1 self, but you know, you can see aesthetically where the two come together. So all in all, at this point I would do my recommendation usually on my normal videos, but I don't tend to offer these up as a recommendation. The G1, picking these G1 guys up, it's if you like them, pick them up. If you're not sure, then yeah, you know, there are kind of more cartoon accurate versions of this guy that you can pick up. But from a nostalgia point of view, I definitely still really have a soft spot for the alt mode here. You can pick this guy up on the second-hand market for probably around $40 to $50, depending on the value. In box, it skyrockets up from there, but you can pick up this guy on AliExpress as a reissue or even a KO version for a very reasonable price, something at around $30 to $40 in box there. So depending on how you want to display it and whether or not you're concerned about picking up a KO version, there's multiple options for you with reissues and KOs that you can pick up now as well. So guys, let me know, have you still got this guy in your collection? Have you got him in box? And yours is probably in a lot better condition than mine. I know he also comes with some accessories, but unfortunately my accessories for this are lost in the sands of time. So guys, if you're new around here, give us a like, a share and a subscribe, and I hope you like what I'm doing, and I'll see you in my next video in a bit. Peace.